vessel that's being built in shipyards right now.
Thanks very much. I think that's another one, and you see that, the word is already question of technology for the and the capacity of the resources. I think these are the key driving factors of this entire transition that is required for the sector to be able to achieve net zero emissions. So here I would like to just take on to Mr. Naresh Goel, who's heading the green ammonia business, on how he sees technology that has transitioned, especially in these alternate fuels, and how do you see that going? The technology, and if you just look at just cover a little bit of the policy aspect, which is driving as just mentioned.
Thank you, Sarojit. Good morning, everyone. Briefly, I will tell about the Avata Energy, a group which I represent here as a business as per green ammonia. Avata is a leading renewable energy generator in India, close to 4.4 gigawatt production as of today, generation as of today, and aiming to be 11 gigawatts by 2026. Along with, we are setting up multiple projects to manufacture green hydrogen and ammonia. So, Shruti, back to your question. In fact, I have more than 30 years of experience in ammonia manufacturing in Indian fertilizer industry. So I can very well assure the team here that India is having the right skill set to make these green fuels. We are the second largest manufacturer of ammonia today. So battery technologies are well established to make ammonia and in a very efficient and safe manner. World's most efficient ammonia plant is today located in central India in a private sector fertilizer plant. Regarding hydrogen production through green route, through water electrolysis, it is also an established technology. Water electrolysis in form of brine solution electrolysis is being used for many years by caustic industry to make caustic soda. So the only application is that we are shifting it to produce hydrogen here, where the reasons for electrolysis in caustic plants are different products. So the only pathway where we are as a community working is working to improve the efficiency, to improve the flexibility, to cope up with the renewable energy profile. As you know, the electrolyte plant where the electrolysis is happening, maybe the grid power is being used as a supply source. But whereas now we have to depend on the solar power in India, and the wind and unfortunately we don't have like aluminum, so we are working to design systems which can support the solar power on round the clock. So this is the only development area. Otherwise, technologies are that and takes for making green hydrogen, which is the clean fuel for future including for maritime marine industry.
Thank you. In terms of like what we're saying, we have the technology and we have the resources, etc. Very nice to would like to speak to you. While we have the source, it's very important to have the entire ecosystem in place to be able to reach the supply and meet the demand supply by the grid. So it's not just producing it, it's ensuring that it is available in the right manner, form, etc., the entire distribution network, etc. So how do you see that planning out and you work with energy and the other sectors in the maritime? So if I look at from maritime or any other perspective also, how do you see that not just production, how do you link it up to the entire ecosystem as well? Elaine and then come back.
Yeah. Thanks, Shruti. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to introduce myself, Elaine, working specifically as a commercial officer, and we also is a leading renewable energy company. We are having nearly 5 gigawatts of renewable power, and this last year we are running a proof of concept fully integrated green ammonia plant in Rajasthan and Thane, across the world, and we're setting up 3 large-scale green ammonia projects in one in India, one in Oman, and one in the US. So So Shruti, worked with the energy industry for nearly 23 years and looked at how the energy also has become the shipping fuel. It's not only a production of that fuel, but it's very, very important to tell how entire ecosystem develops it. And very, very interesting thing which I would like to say here in terms of the ammonia, that all the players in this sector who are working towards making the ecosystems work. For an example, blue sites like FNA and many others, engine designer and manufacturer like MAN and Wasila, IHI. These all people have started working at least 4 to 5 years back. And as we speak today, they have done the demonstration of those engines. And they also, some of the vessels work for certain hours in sea. As we speak today, number of vessels ammonia has already been ordered under manufacturing, and there are many more are expected to. Other than ammonia, methanol also has been seen as one of the fuel which will certainly help in the energy transition and reducing the carbon emissions. So, policy framework is also going to play a very, very important part. While it is now more or less clear that what is green based on the policy, what regulation, what we have in Europe, IFNT Europe. At the same time, the maritime sector also, certain policies which will drive how we would be changing the scenario in terms of bunkering of such fuels, and most importantly, HSEC, because what work going on this point in time is to how we handle the fuel like which is toxic in nature. While many other things are being managed and handled, I have no doubt about that. Can also not be managed, but only thing is perhaps within policy frameworks, there's a few guidelines that should be placed how to handle this field. Thank you.
Very important that, while we have the structure and the manufacturing capacity, it is very important that the industry needs to be ready to use it, where this is where we talk about the engine, where we talk about supply chain, the HSE part of it, and this one earlier about, it started with feasibility, retrofit everything. It's a new order pipeline, and then we see while these timelines, as Mother was saying, the timelines are being set for net zero 2040. That means the shipyard and the entire pipeline has to be ready. So while we're talking about this, it's very important for us to give due weightage to the massive issues that we are solving for 2040. It's not really one piece that we need to solve. It's the entire collaborative effort of the sector. And for that, I'd like to bring that you're heading the maritime cluster, the one first, and we heard about what classes are done in Norway. So in terms of what is the vision of maritime cluster in bringing various technologies, capacities, capabilities, and what are the efforts that as a cluster you're doing? That we have.
Thank you, Shruti. See, in my observation and understanding of the whole sector, what I feel is while much of the focus is on the green fuels, I think that's only part of the problem. As I see, in fact, statistics speak for themselves. And as I understand that statistics can be used to guide your narrative. But why do we say so? If you look at the total carbon emissions in the shipping industry is basically contributing at 3%. And within this 3%, it is mind-boggling to understand that 30 to 40% of this carbon emission from the shipping industry is only because of inefficiencies. Are we looking at that inefficiency part of it? So that's where, as a cluster, we have within our member base, I've been speaking to the ship chartering companies, the owners and the new builds. You'll be surprised to know that freight rates in the last 1 week or 2 weeks have gone up 25%. That's because the whole confusion which the green fuel is creating in the shipping industry is that nobody is placing new build orders. Because ships are valid for 25-30 years, there is no standardization around the world as to what is the future fuel for the shipping industry. Whether it's green hydrogen, whether it's ammonia, whether it's ethanol. EU was going numbers about the biofuels. When they came out with the EU PDS policy, biofuel was completely missing. So having said that, when we talk about efficiency, that's also divided into two parts, and I'm very glad that the subject matter of this discussion is covering both aspects, that is shipping as well as ports. When it comes to the efficiency on the ships, you know, I come from a naval background and we have been sailing on ships, and there is something called the critical speed. Just two aspects of ships, the speed and the HVAC operations. The speed, the critical speed, once you are sailing below the critical speed, I mean, the emissions are almost a linear graph, where the access ratio is pretty nice. The moment you go beyond the critical speed, the emissions are actually an exponential curve. So that is why there is a guideline internationally that you should try and maintain the constant speed. Plan your voyages, Captain requested, plan your voyages in time, don't rush. So that is combined with HVACs and the speeds that combined together, can you imagine, brings down the emissions by 30%. That's pretty, good. When we talk about the amount of idle ballast which is lying on the high seas, it's anybody's guess. Just talk about the Indian ports. We have much of the import-oriented cargo, so there's hardly an export-oriented cargo. There's idle ballast which is moving out of India, lying on high seas. Nobody knows the visibility into these assets and resources which are available. And I'm very proud to say, as part of the research center that we are establishing, we are accelerating one startup that has been recently incubated also by the Techstars in the US, which is an NASA-funded organization, the first organization to go there, and have also won the defense startup programs both in Asia as well as in the US. That's a company which is based out of Gujarat and Ahmedabad. We are accelerating. They are into the first of its kind, launch-on-demand maritime satellite network, ready to use, which the first prototype is being launched in July. This is going to give us a complete visibility into all the assets at sea as well as the ports, give us the important aspect about the carbon neutrality and the net zero target that we're trying to establish is also to identify the sources. Though we are talking about bringing net zero commitments, so India has not signed the 45 commitment, and there is a complete divide in the global north and the south, where the technology is not coming to us because we are a developing country and investors are also pulling off. But when it comes to the overall visibility into the resources at least in the ports and ships, so this maritime satellite can actually tell us exactly that also the